Hey guys, welcome back to Jade Zen Den. Today we're going to be doing a Vinyasa Flow, which involves moving with the breath, and it's going to consist of a couple of sun salutations and some dancing warrior. So it's mostly a standing sequence, although there is a bit of floor work towards the end. So to start with, we're just going to begin at the top of our mats in a standing position. So if you just want to bring your feet together, hands down, close your eyes, and just come to find some awareness on your mat. Coming to notice your breath, tuning in with your body, closing off the eyelids if that feels good, and grounding down through the feet for balance. Leg muscles are engaged, the core is gently engaged. Shoulders roll up and back and down the spine, relaxing away from your ears. The chin is tucked in slightly, crown of the head parallel with the ceiling. And just take a moment here, just to connect, to step away from whatever you were doing before and whatever you have to do next. We're going to begin with just some warming up exercises. So you can open your eyes now, and we're just going to take both arms up over your head, taking hold of your right wrist and just leaning gently over to the left side, just feeling that stretch along the side body and along the arm. And coming back up, changing sides, taking the left arm in your hand and leaning to the right side. And then coming back up and taking both arms back and just circling the arms up overhead, kind of like you're swimming. 2, 3, and changing directions, coming back over, arms coming forward. 2, 3, clasping your fingertips overhead, lifting up onto your tiptoes and stretching up. And lowering your feet back down, just turning your palms up. We're taking a gentle back bend here, palms facing the ceiling. And then keeping your hands up, just going to turn the palms towards ourselves and come down in a forward fold. So just hinging at the hips, coming all the way down. And then as we get down, lowering our hands down to the mat. Just enjoying the first forward fold of the day. You can bend the legs if you like, leaning over your thighs. And stretching it out, maybe walking out the legs, maybe swaying a little from side to side. And then when you're ready, just begin to bend into the legs, engage the core, rolling up, bringing your head up last. And standing at the front of your mat, feet together. Bring your hands into prayer. So we're just going to run through some simple sun salutations to start with. So inhaling, reaching upwards. Exhale, forward folding. Hands come down. Inhale, step your right leg back. Right knee comes down. Chest opens up to the front. Exhale, step your left leg back. Lower both knees down. Chin and chest come down. And coming forward into cobra. Inhale. Just gently pushing up, opening the chest. Exhale, coming back up into downward dog through tabletop. And stepping the right leg forward. Left knee comes down. And then joining your feet at the front of your mat in a forward fold. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way overhead. And exhale, bring them down in prayer. One big inhalation. And exhale. Inhale, reaching your arms back up. And forward folding. This time the left foot comes back, left knee goes down, gazing up, chest opens. Stepping back into a plank position, then bringing both knees down and just engaging the arms, lowering the chest and the chin down. And coming forward into cobra, hands under shoulders. And then coming back into downward dog, lifting the hips high. And left foot comes between the hands, open the chest, right knee comes down. And then stepping your right foot forward to join the left, coming into a forward fold. Inhale to sweep the arms up overhead, and exhale to bring them down in prayer. Inhaling here, and exhaling. From here, we're going to squat the bottom back so that the knees are not shooting over the toes, but they're a little bit further back, so over the ankles. Arms come up into chair pose and gazing upwards, really engaging the legs here. You can squeeze the thighs towards each other, squeeze the glutes, trying to lengthen the spine. And then bring your hands down in prayer. We're going to take the right elbow to the outside of the left knee. And just using that to twist around gently, trying to open the heart space up to the ceiling. Trying to keep the knees in line, the hips in line, so it's just the upper body that's twisting. And remembering to breathe. And then coming back to centre, staying in your squat. And changing sides, so left elbow comes to the outside of the right knee. And twisting here, gazing up towards the right side. And breathing deeply in, out through the nose. And from here, coming back to centre, dropping down into a forward fold, extending the legs. Come to halfway lift, so hands to shins, flat back, create space. Both hands come down and stepping back into plank. From here, you can bring the knees down and chest down, or you can come all the way down in chaturanga and find cobra or up dog. And downward facing dog. Holding in your downward dog here, just for 3 long breaths. And maybe just paddling it out a little bit. Maybe taking a bend in the knees if you need to. Just trying to find some length in the spine, from the tailbone to the crown of the head. And really pressing into each fingertip, into the mat. Taking your right leg up into the air, toes pointing towards the ceiling. And gently bend the knee, dropping the right foot towards your left buttock. Opening the hips out. And then step that right foot in between the hands, plant your left heel down. You can walk your foot a little bit out to the side and coming up into warrior one. Keeping a deep bend in the front knee and the back knee is straight. Hips are facing forward, so everything is facing forward towards the front of your mat. Breathing here, arms straight up. And then opening out into warrior two. So you can readjust the foot a little bit if you need to. And hips opening up to the side, but still gazing over that front fingertip. Still bending deeply into that front knee. Shoulders relaxed. Inhale, leaning forward. Take your right elbow to your right knee. Left fingertips come overhead. From here, you can drop your right hand down to the floor and then take your left fingertips up to the ceiling. Begin to walk your left foot a little bit inwards, ready for triangle pose, Trikonasana, and then slowly straightening out your front right leg. And you can come up to your fingertips, so you can bring your fingertips to rest along your thigh or your shin, wherever feels comfortable, or the floor if you can reach. Gazing upwards and just breathing here. So this pose is really aimed at opening out the hips and the side body. So you don't want to be leaning over your front leg like that. You just want everything to open out to the side. So if you have to come a little bit higher up, that's absolutely fine. And then bending into your legs, lifting back up to warrior two. Left hand comes to left thigh, right fingertips float up, coming into a side bend here. If you want to take the option of a bind with your left hand, you can bring it to your right hip. And then coming back to warrior two, hands cartwheeling either side of your front foot, stepping back into plank, and then you can bring your knees down or lower down in chaturanga. Coming into cobra or up dog, and working your way back to downward facing dog. And holding here for 3 breaths. Maybe finding some stillness this time. Slowing the inhalation and the exhalation. And then when you're ready, taking the left leg up into the air, toes pointing up towards the ceiling or as high as you can lift it. And then when you're ready, bending that right knee, dropping the foot out to the side and opening the hips. Keep looking up towards your belly button. And then take that left foot in between the hands and then coming up into warrior one. So hips and everything facing the front here. If this is a little bit challenging for you, then you can come up into a high lunge, so just lifting the back heel off the ground. If you can do warrior one though, staying here. And then opening up into warrior two. So hips facing the other side, gazing over your front fingertips, shoulders relaxed. And coming forward. Left elbow comes to left knee, right fingertips go up, gazing towards your right hand. And then taking the left hand down to the ground, right fingertips come up, extended side angle. Beginning to walk your back foot in, just heel toe it gently inwards. And then straightening up that left leg and just coming up anywhere that you can for triangle pose. So again, wherever feels good, whether it's the floor, the shins, or maybe a little bit higher. You just want to create this triangle pose with your body. Just squeezing that right hip and glute back. And lifting up strong in the legs, back to warrior two. Right hand comes down and left fingertips float upwards, gazing up towards your fingers. And taking the option of a bind as well. And from here, coming back to warrior two, cartwheeling your hands either side of your front foot and stepping back into a plank position. Again, lowering the knees or coming all the way down. And finding cobra or up dog. And working back to downward facing dog. From here, you can step, walk or hop your feet to the front of your mat, coming into a forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift, hands to shins. And then squatting backwards, finding your chair again, and reaching fingertips all the way up. And coming up to standing. Okay, and from here, you're going to squat back down to chair, but keeping your arms shoulder height this time. Turn the palms facing up. Take the right arm, curl it over the left arm, and then under, and then so the palms can touch like that. And then coming onto your left foot, lifting the right leg up into the air, and you can wrap it over your left leg And if you can wrap it twice, then hooking the foot around the left calf. But if not, then just once is fine. And then coming down here, just squatting down into that left leg whilst lifting the chest, lifting the spine and lengthening. Find a point to focus on to help you balance here. And then begin to straighten that leg, keeping your arms here, staying on that left leg, and kick the right foot out behind you. You can untangle the arms and bring them in front of you, or you can bring them down as you come into Warrior 3. So finding that T shape with your body. And it doesn't matter how high you can get the leg or how straight your body is. I can feel my leg shaking. But just breathing and holding here. And if you fall out of it, then just come back to it in a minute. And bringing that right foot gently back down next to the left and changing sides. So squatting back down here, bringing the arms up to shoulder height, palms facing up. This time taking the left arm over the right arm and then wrapping it under, palms facing each other. Coming onto the right foot, so lifting the left and wrapping it round. And squatting down here. Remembering to breathe. Remembering to find a drishti point, a point of focus to gaze at, to help concentrate and maintain your balance. And then begin to straighten up on your standing leg and kick your left leg out behind you. Untangle the arms, find a comfortable pose. So maybe out behind you or out in front for extra balance, whichever feels right to you. And just flexing that left foot out behind you, trying to get the heel upwards. And holding here. And then when you're ready, coming back to standing. We're just going to do one more standing balance, tree pose. So it's just a nice hip opener. So come to stand on your right foot this time, left leg comes up. And if you just take your foot anywhere along your calf or your thigh, but just don't put it against your knee because it's not good for the knee joint. So I'm going to put mine against my thigh. And then just bring your hands into prayer. Relaxing the shoulders down the spine. And then just trying to open the hips up, drawing this knee gently back. And really rooting down through that right foot, whilst growing tall through the spine. And just coming back to your breathing here, trying to slow it down. You can grow your arms up like tree branches if you like. Just finding different variations of the pose that work for you. Just playing around, testing your limits, and just knowing what your body needs. So you might be swaying a little bit like I am, or you might find some stillness. And if you want to challenge yourself, then you can close off the eyelids. But if not, then keeping them open. And then bringing your hands back down to prayer, or if they were already there, just releasing that foot and bringing it down. And changing sides. So right foot comes up anywhere along the leg, just not along the knee joint. And arms, hands come into prayer, shoulders relaxed. Just finding your focal point. Just engaging all the muscles of your legs. And even your feet, your left foot grounding down. Feeling all the different muscles working to keep you rooted. And then begin to grow your arms upwards. Maybe stretching up to the sky or opening out. And again, just playing around. And closing off the eyes if you want that challenge. And then when you're ready, just bringing the hands back down to prayer. And releasing the leg. And from here, coming to find a nice wide stance. Hands come to the hips. And then we're just going to hinge at the hips, so keeping the legs nice and straight. Hinging at the hips all the way down. Just slowly releasing the head, releasing the upper body. And coming into a wide-legged forward fold. And take the hands down to the floor here. And maybe sway the body from side to side. Just letting gravity drop you down a little bit deeper. Noticing the opening of the hips. This might feel quite nice on your back. It might feel quite intense, so just go with whatever works for you. Coming back to the breathing. So inhaling for 1 and exhaling. Inhaling for 2 and exhaling. Inhaling for 3 and exhaling. And then you can take your 2 big fingers and holding on to your big toes, just gently using the elbows to draw yourself a little bit further down. Trying to keep the knees straight but not locked, so the muscles are still engaged. And then releasing the hands and walking them all the way around over your front foot. And then stepping back into downward facing dog. And just stretching out here for a few minutes. Or a few breaths, sorry, not minutes. I wouldn't be that mean to you. And we're going to step the right knee between the hands, ready for pigeon pose. And then taking the left hip and the leg back down to the floor. And if this pose is quite hard for you, you might want to come to find the variation, so you just bend the back knee. And then you can just come up on your hands here. So a little bit diagonally over your front shin. And then we're just going to begin to walk our hands down over our foot. So if you know you can do the full pigeon variation, or if your hips don't feel too tight, then walking down here. But then if not, just staying upwards or staying up, whatever feels comfortable. And wherever you are, we're just going to stay here for 5 breaths. And just noticing how our body feels. Just trying to relax a little bit. So inhaling for 1 and exhale. Inhaling for 2 and exhale. Inhaling for 3 and exhale. Inhale for 4 and exhale. Inhale for 5 and exhale. And then when you're ready, coming back up, so walking your hands back in and bending the back left leg. And if you're able to take hold of it with your right hand, just coming here to find a gentle twist with the upper body, although this can be a little bit intense on your hamstrings and your glutes. So if you can't quite reach your foot or it doesn't feel comfortable, then you can just stay in the variation up here. But if you can come into this, then just twisting to the side. Just opening up your body here and feeling that stretch in the hamstrings. And then lowering back down to the floor. And leaning onto your right buttock, swinging the left leg all the way around and coming into Gurmakasana pose. So So the knees are stacked on top of each other here, and the feet come out to the front. You can just like adjust the feet to wherever feels comfortable for you. And then we're just going to take your right arm up in the air, left hand comes behind, and then reaching towards each other, trying to clasp your fingertips behind your back, but don't worry if you can't reach. I only have one side that can reach, and that's this side. And then, if not, then just holding anywhere along here. As long as you're getting a nice opening through the chest and a stretch in the arms, that's what matters. And then just leaning forward slightly here into a forward fold. Keeping the spine nice and straight. And when you're ready, lifting out, releasing the hands and giving them a bit of a shake. And then coming forward onto your hands, untangling the legs and stepping back into a downward dog. And then this time, bringing the left knee through between the hands, the pigeon on the other side. And then straightening that right leg out behind you, or taking that Z bend, the variation. So you just bend the back knee. So you're coming over the left knee here. And then if you're in the full pigeon variation, just walking your hands down, all the way down to wherever feels comfortable, but you're feeling a bit of a stretch. Just not too much pain, hopefully. And then just bringing the head down for 5 breaths again. Inhaling for 1, and exhale. Inhaling for 2, and exhale. Inhaling for 3, and exhaling. Inhale for 4, exhale. Inhale for 5, and exhale. And when you're ready, coming back onto your fingertips, walking your hands back up, and then bending your right leg, taking hold of the foot in your right hand, and just coming round here to find a gentle twist. Enjoying that upper body side stretch, feeling the twist through your spine. You can use your left hand here to support you. And then releasing that right foot back down, leaning out onto the left side of your bottom and swinging the right leg all the way around on top of the left, so that the knees are stacked again for Brahmakasana, cow facing pose. And then just adjust your feet as needed, so you can walk them away from each other to make it a little bit more intense, or walk them closer to your body to make it a bit easier. And then taking the left arm up, the right arm comes down, and just taking your fingertips towards each other, seeing if they can meet. Mine do not meet on this side. And just lengthening the spine, and just leaning forward into a fold as you exhale. Just slowly working with the hips, not forcing it. And just putting some gentle pressure to allow it to open. And breathing here. And then lifting all the way back up, releasing the arms, giving them a bit of a shake off, and then leaning forward again, coming into downward facing dog. And we're just going to take a few plank ripples here. So coming all the way forward to plank, bending the knees, but not dropping them all the way down, and coming back to downward dog by lifting the hips up. So inhaling to come forward into plank. Exhaling, begin to drop the knees and bending backwards towards your heels, and then into downward dog. So 2 more times. Inhaling to come forward into plank. Begin exhaling, dropping the knees back, heels are lifted off the ground, hips up into downward dog. 1 more time. Inhale forward to plank. Exhale, begin to drop the knees and coming all the way back, downward facing dog. And then you can just drop the knees down here. And then coming back into puppy dog pose, so walking the hands forward, just dropping the chest down, bringing the forehead to the ground, coming into this shoulder opening stretch. Keeping the ribs lifted, so you're not dropping into the lower back. And you can just massage your forehead on the ground from side to side, if that feels nice. And then from here, just coming back up to a seated position. And we're going to take the legs wide out here into a straddle pose. So the sit bones are firmly grounded on the floor, the legs are nice and straight, and then the foot's flexed, so the toes are pointing upwards. And stretch your arms up above your head. And we're just going to forward fold, so just reaching down. You can bring the hands down to the floor. You can round through the spine, just relaxing into this pose. Just melting towards the ground. Just enjoying the sensations in your legs and your hips. And then walking the hands around to the left side and taking hold of the left foot with both hands, and then leaning the body over the left foot. Forward folding here. And remembering to breathe deeply, trying to allow the breath to fill up the stomach. And then walking the hands back round to centre, and then all the way around to the right side. Taking hold of the right foot and folding down here. And breathing deeply here, connecting yourself into the present moment, into your body, into your breath. And then again, walking your hands back to centre. And we're just going to fold down here one last time. So just relaxing down. Just noticing if your hips feel a little bit more open now. Perhaps they don't. Perhaps they feel tighter. Just accepting however you feel. And then lifting up, walking your hands all the way back. And then we're going to bend our knees inwards into butterfly pose. Bringing your hands to your feet. And just gently push the knees down, just using the thighs to push the legs down towards the floor, drawing the spine a little bit straighter. And just holding here. And then if you want to take the option of a Shavasana, then maybe stop the recording or pause the recording here and you can come to lie down on your back. But I am going to finish with just a seated position, so just coming into a cross-legged position. And we're just going to take 3 grounding breaths together. So closing off the eyes, hands come to rest on the knees, palms facing up. Hopefully now breathing has slowed down a little bit, but just noticing wherever it is, whatever it's doing. And then taking a big inhalation through the nose and releasing through the mouth. Inhaling through the nose, release through the mouth. inhale. Bringing the palms together, rubbing your hands, creating some friction and some heat. And then bringing your palms over your closed eyes, just feeling the warmth of your skin. And then you can begin to open your eyes as you bring your hands away from your face. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Yeah, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and leave any comments in the section below, any suggestions of what you'd like to see in the videos, or just any feedback that you wanted to give me. Thank you.